Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Not Worth the Time. We're here. We're doing it. We're doing the damn thing. It's been another 2 weeks, and we're ripping and roaring. It's glad to be back, guys. I hope you've had a fantastic couple of weeks. Hope you had a good Mother's Day. I hope you did something nice, you POS. Even if you didn't know your mom, or you have a fictitious mom, you need to pray to Mother Nature. Then at least that's a mother. She's right there. Give her something. But do you give Mother Nature flowers? I mean, she made those flowers, and you're technically if you give them to her, you're kind of killing them, unless you go plant. You know what? Go plant a tree. Just double up on the Arbor Day shit. If you don't have your mom to celebrate, but you need to celebrate a mom, go plant a tree for Mother Nature, and we'll call it a win. Okay? That's how you celebrate it. Okay? We're solving problems. Okay? The world needs more trees, need more oxygen. You need to thank Mother Nature. The ultimate mother. The ultimate mother. Shout out to all the moms out there who doing their damn thing, creating life and whatnot. Is that why you call it Mother Nature? Because she creates life? That's why we call it that? It's probably. Oh, wait, did you figure out a very simple analogy? I did. I just did right now. Just figured it out. God, I'm so, just so smart. That college education. Woo! Man, I should just be holding my college degree up right here all the time for you to see, to be anything that comes out of my mouth is credible because I went to an esteemed university and they taught me things. Right here is my credential. See, I went to school for event management. That means I'm qualified to talk about why we named Mother Nature that, because I understand science because I went to the College of Human Sciences. Oh, that classification always gets me. The fact that my degree is under the College of Human Sciences. Oh, I have a degree that helps me herd people into one room for a common get-together that ultimately is normally for entertainment purposes. I know how to get people into a room in order to entertain them for a long period of time. If I was really good at that, this podcast would be a lot more successful. But that's digital, Wade. You're not dealing with humans on a large scale. You're right. I should pump myself up a little more. Okay? I know how to get real-life human beings in a room together. Okay? I know how to organize them so they have a efficient, good time. Okay? I know the proper spacing and how many people to put at a table and how to separate those out in order for people to have the ultimate good time. That's what I learned in college, is how to properly seat people, because there is a ratio, okay? It's a balancing act. You have to have the thing set up right. You got to have walkways, and you think, oh, it's so people don't get hurt and trip. No, it's all about energy, actually. It's all about spatial differentiation. That's why when I ran events, I asked people what they weighed. I was like, I need every attendee's weight. Listen, I'm planning your wedding. I need to know the scales, okay? It's like balancing out a plane. I got to have this room equal weight distribution of this ballroom. Otherwise, this whole wedding reception is going to be thrown off. It's statistically proven all marriages where one side of the family, when they're sitting on the certain aisle of the church, right? If the one family weighs too much over the other family, the scale tips in that family, leading to divorce. You got to have an even scale. Otherwise, if you're coming into a marriage with tipped scales, things are going to fall apart, okay? I'm just telling you what I've learned from my event experience, okay? These are the things I've witnessed. This is the data I've collected because I studied human science. I have the degrees and the credentials to talk about human science. I don't know why I went JFK there, but I did. I'm here to plan weddings. Ask not what my wedding planner can do for you, because I can't do shit, okay? Bridezilla, You have taken over this wedding. I've tried to meet all your demands like I did Castro's. Woo! I'm in a silly goose mood, dude. Oh, dude, I'm in a silly goose mood. JFK as a wedding planner is fucking great. I did not want these kind of centerpieces. These centerpieces are going to throw off the whole vibe of this reception. These are communist centerpieces. Where's Bobby? Bobby, talk to the florist. And tell Monroe to meet me in the back closet. Even if JFK was a wedding planner, he's still somehow banging Marilyn Monroe. I got her at a reception. Our wedding crashed. That's the nice part about planning a wedding. You can be a wedding crasher while also planning the wedding. You know all the ins and outs. You have access to the bridal party. JFK just being a hound dog as a wedding planner, dude. I say you always leave the reception in a convertible car. I live and die by that idea. I want a convertible with cans on the back that says just married. It's non-negotiable. Every bride will have it. Dude, I'm going to hell. I'm a terrible person. JFK as a wedding planner might be my new favorite character. I don't even care. That'll be one that's going to pop up from now and then, guys. Whenever you're listening to this podcast, if I start talking weddings, it's going to be JFK planning it. Oh, what's up, guys? I'm in a great fucking mood, obviously. Just having a good riff there and having fun. I'm in a good mood. It's because I've been riding high on this for like a month now, honestly. I haven't got a chance to tell you. There's other stuff that's fucking happening. I've told you guys about that stuff in the prior podcasts, but I've been riding high on this. You know, I got one of the best compliments you can get when you're in a relationship, right? From your significant other. And I was out at an open mic, you know, doing my thing, trying to sling these jokes, you know. I wasn't feeling so hot going up on stage. I didn't know how it was going to go. You know, this new material about folding towels might bomb. You know, I wasn't really feeling comfortable with my towel material that I've been working on. And I got a text from my girl. And she said, "Oh, my God, babe, this shepherd's pie is amazing." See, I'd made her dinner before I left. It went, you know, and I decided to make a little shepherd's pie for me and her, you know. And I've only made shepherd pie like twice, right? You know. And this time I did it all from memory, dude. And I fucking nailed it. Like, I had some before I left, right? I had some of my shepherd pie. That was the dinner. She was just running late. I made the dinner. I made sure I kept it hot for her, so when she got home, she could have it. But, like, we missed each other on the way. So then I get a text saying, "Oh, babe, this shepherd's pie is unreal. It's so good." And, dude, that's one of the best texts you can receive for your significant other. Just complimenting their food, okay? Or just thanking them for getting you food or making you food of any kind. Just getting that is such a nice relief of a text message. And you just feel good, like you really accomplished something, you know? Because people take making food for granted. We really do. Because we just have food constantly, right? Like everybody has something right now in their kitchen that's just edible that they can go eat. Right? You don't even have to try. Most people have fucking just microwave meals right in there. And did I make a microwave shepherd's pie? No. I made this from fucking scratch, dude. I'm talking tomato paste, salt and pepper, cabbage, carrots, fucking homemade mashed potatoes, frying up that goddamn ground beef, dude. I did it all from scratch. The whole 9 yards. Authentic Irish English cuisine. And that's why I nailed it, because it's authentic Irish and English cuisine, because I come from those pasty tribes. Okay, I'm not British. I actually, when we did our or I'm not English, whatever the fuck they're called, you know, I come from that island that we've had a real problem with them. That's where my ancestors come from. I'm not going to talk about like I have any beef or stake in that at all, by the way. I don't. I'm from America. I have Irish ancestors. And you know what? it's not like it's been passed down. Like I know about the history because I've read about it, and then like some family members have said things, but it's not like we have personal stories that like, yeah, your great 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 grandfather was an Irish settler. You know, he was just he came all the way over here to escape the Brits because he didn't like how they were treating him. You know, I don't want to have any story like that. You know, I'm just Irish heritage, and that ability to bake a shepherd's pie is baked into me, okay? That's why I can nail it without even trying. That was the second time I've ever really made it. And I did it without a recipe. I just kind of looked up the ingredients and went along with it, and I fucking nailed it. And that is just genetically passed down because that is a poor person's meal, okay? You need celery, carrots, beef, or lamb. A lot of them call for lamb. And potatoes, and then some salt and pepper. That's bland white people food in a can of tomato paste, okay? That's all you got to do in order to make a shepherd's pie, and then maybe a little cheese on top, and you fucking broil that to get it on top. There you go. That's shepherd's pie. Boom. Layer it like a fucking Irish casserole, dude. That's just an Irish casserole is all that fucking is. And I can nail it because of my pasty ancestors brought it on to me. And you know, it sucks because I try to be a good cook, guys. I really do try to do different recipes. It's fun. I like cooking now. You know, I do like cooking because I like trying to like make stuff that's healthy for me and not eat out as much. It's good. It's gotten to a good place. But dude, I'm scared that, like, after nailing that after the second try, either it's just that easy of a dish, or I can only cook pasty Irish people dishes good, and that sucks. Because I've tried chicken cordon bleu, whack, can't make that French dish. I've tried chitlins, I tried to make that southern dish, whack, I fucking fuck those up. My fajitas, see, I can I can do a little good. I can do all right on fajitas. You know, they're definitely not authentic Mexican fajitas. Okay, I've been down to Texas with my relatives, and we've gone to an actual authentic restaurant. You know, and you know when it's actual authentic Mexican food. Okay, first of all, you can't read the menu. Okay, my uncle can. He can because he's from Texas. He speaks a little bit of Spanish, enough to get him through the day. He's also from Louisiana. Different type of person when it comes to handling hot food. So, of course, he seeks out the real deal Mexican food. And that's how you can tell is what fucking salsa they put on the table for the appetizer for everybody to just kind of have. Dude, if you want to know you're at a real deal, like you're like, oh, I have gone with people to Mexican restaurants right around here in Iowa, and they're like, oh, this salsa's spicy. I was like, that's not spicy. It's fucking mild. That is mild. That is their idea of mild. They're not bringing out the spicy shit, okay? They're bringing it, real authentic. It is burn white people's mouths, okay? You can't handle it. You're not tasting the enchiladas afterwards, okay? You're not tasting your pork tacos, okay? There is no flavor afterwards if you try that fucking salsa. And I know that from experience, okay? I might be different now, but when I was like 14, that I did not taste my California burrito. By the way, authentic Mexican food does not have a California burrito. Such a gringo going into that restaurant, Bad times. Bad times. But, you got to take the win. You just got to take the hint. I got to look up more authentic Irish cuisine, I guess, if I really want to be, like, on top of my flavor game, because my genetic code is being like, dude, you can nail this stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll just do that. Sucks. Because I don't even know of another Irish dish. I don't. But I guess I got to look into them and figure out what's going on. Anyway, it is what it is. From one of my favorite things to do since I've moved into a house, I guess I've always liked cooking, but like I've gotten better at it since I've lived with somebody now, because now you can cook. That's the big deal when you start cooking, right? it's hard when you live by yourself because you're cooking a meal and you can try to like fucking scale it back and only make so much, but like I fucking hate reducing down recipes. I don't want to do math before I have to cook something, okay? I have to look at the ingredients and then it's got a 1/4 a cup of sugar, 1 cup of flour, and now I have to divide that, and that makes a serving of 6, so I have to divide it by. I don't need a word problem. That's what it turns into if you're cooking as a single person. Every cookbook turns into a fucking math textbook. You're just like, okay, so it's a 1/4 cup of flour, and this makes 6 servings. I really only need 2 servings, so I need to cut it. You have to do math on top of math, so you have to figure out if you want to make 2 servings, how many of that to divide that by that. Dude, it sucks. It fucking sucks, and I hate to do it. So I just end up making like 6 servings. I'm just doing this recipe exactly how it says, and I'm just going to eat this for the next week. And that's called meal prepping. That's all it is. That is what meal prepping is the ability not to do math to reduce the amount of servings you want to cook. So when you move in with somebody like I have, now you can cook meals, and you don't have to really worry about that because you're only really cooking food now for 2 days. That's it. It's perfect. So I've been trying new recipes, and it's great. Okay? That's the thing they don't tell you about moving with somebody. But you do get to, as you move in and you're taking on new responsibilities, right? You get to take on some ones that you've always wanted to, right? For one of those, and this sounds weird to a lot of people, it's mowing and taking care of the lawn for me. I've talked about, if you're a long-time listener of this podcast, you've heard me talk about my fantasy about mowing my lawn, sitting on my back patio, having a beer afterwards, after I just got done edging the driveway, cleaning it up, everything looking immaculate, and just taking a sip of beer as that sunset and just going, I'm the fucking man. That's what I've gotten to do, okay? Summer's finally starting to roll around. I'm mowing the lawn. I'm mowing the lawn twice a week, you guys. Twice a week, I'm just getting on a fucking riding mower, throwing in the earbuds, and just fucking blasting some butt rock as I go around the yard, just singing some Nickelback, you know? So far away! Just fucking nailing it, you know? Yeah, you're probably like, that sounds weird. Yeah, you do that, Wade. Yeah, well, I have a really eclectic playlist, okay? It's got some Nickelback. That's just for the fun effect of this, okay? I also got some Smash Mouth. Then I got some fucking Linkin Park, okay? I got a little bit of everything. Then it switches over to some gangster rap. Oh, this is a fucking Migos, you know, while I'm mowing the lawn. You know, Mama told me not to sell it. White T-shirts, dude. It's great. I love it. I love mowing the lawn, dude. It's one of my favorite things. So you know this if you've listened to this podcast for a long time. I've been looking forward to that, and I'm finally getting to do that. And then I got to thinking, because it is a very weird thing that we do. Mowing your lawn, landscaping, taking care of stuff, right? Like just doing this kind of prim and prep for your yard. And I was like, where did this all start is what I started thinking about, right? Where did this all start? Well, luckily, I found a fun article that is the lawn history. Yes, that's right. I'm going to break down the lawn history. A lot of you are probably like, what the fuck are we about to read? Trust me, this is way crazier than you probably think it is. Nobody ever thinks about the history of how we just got to things that we do all the time. I do, because I don't like my job, so I let my mind wander and I think about, I wonder how that came about. And then I start doing this shit. This is why this show's called Not Worth the Time. I waste my time at my job so you guys don't have to, and then you can just read this while you do your work. No, I read this to you while you do your work. Okay? I'm risking getting fired reading about the lawn care history. Lawns appeared in a European, appears to be a European invention, which makes ecological sense because the moist, mild climate of Europe supported open, close-cut grasslands. The less tempered climate of North America does not. The Middle English word launder, laundy? Lawn, okay, originally refers to a glad or an opening in the woods, but later designated artificial stretches of land that resemble such glades. Glades, yeah. Some of the earliest lawns were grasslands around the medieval castles in France and Britain, uh, kept clear of trees so guards had an unobstructed view of approaching, perhaps hostile visitors. The term also referred to the village commons, the meadows shared or held in common with the villagers could graze their sheep and cattle. These hooved lawnmowers kept the grass chopped, fertilized as they graze. Talk about organic lawns. Yeah, that's like a very common thing in a lot of farms. Like, there's still people, like, really, really big hippies. Like, I feel like I've heard about this where they buy goats just because they'll go and eat the grass. You know, I think there's this comic on Instagram who's now like homesteading like in upstate New York, and they went and got goats just for this purpose. He's a really funny comic. I wish I could remember his name. It's Nick something. Really funny guy. But I remember him talking about they got goats and stuff like that to eat. I think it's always funny how little things like this start, right? So the whole point of is it's military strategy. So many things that we use for convenience or do as chores all started as things it's for military strategy. The only reason we have an interstate system in the United States is because it got passed as a defense act. I don't think it wasn't a defense act, but one of the main purposes that I think was it FDR who put it in, whichever president it was. I want to say it was FDR. They justified having the interstate system through the United States because then you could have jet runways everywhere throughout the United States. That's why we went with the painted lines, the way they are, and all that stuff. It resembles a lot like a fucking battleship deck. It's exactly the same. Battleship decks look like exactly like floating strips of street. And so that's why they ended up doing that, because we could use them for runways. So the whole convenience of us being able to travel across this country by car is due to military strategy. So the start of lawn care via having goats and fucking cows eat it was, one, to feed your livestock, and two, so the king could be like, oh fuck, are they coming for me? Ah, shit. Even if the commoners come for him, right? Even if his own people want to riot and revolt and fucking kill off with the king's head, right? He could see him coming because he's been letting those fucking cows munch, and the cows are like, well, we're not going to revolt against the king. He lets us fucking munch and shit in his fucking front yard, dude. We're cool with the king. We also don't pay taxes. Fucking, hey, being an animal rules. High hoof, dude. In the 16th century Renaissance, lawns were deliberately, cultivated by the wealthy in both France and England. They were more likely to plant with calamine or thyme than with grass. Both of these grounds covered make excellent alternatives to grass in modern lawns. Weird. I would never think thyme is Anyway, closely sown grass lawns first emerged in the 17th century England at homes of large, wealthy landowners, while sheep still grazed on many such parklands. Landowners increasingly depend on human labor to tend to grass closely to their homes. Before lawnmowers, only the rich could afford to hire as many hands needed to scythe and weed the grass. So lawns were a mark of wealth and status. Yeah, that's how it always goes. It's just a bunch of people out there fucking hacking and slashing with a giant scythe, which is probably where the fucking that's where the term of death come from, you know. That's why the scythe became a thing of death, probably, is to become servant. Got tired of some guy being like, I want the lawn exactly 2 inches. You know, it needs to be cut shorter, Bartholomew, shorter. And then he dressed in black one night, and he fucking used that scythe and cut his head off. And then the imagery of death was born. All because this wealthy dickhead was like, I want the grass shorter. Yeah, it makes sense, though. Like, of course it's a wealth status, dude. Everything starts... It's always so funny to me how things start. Like, grass, having short grass at first was probably looked down upon, right? Because that meant you were having animals. You kept livestock, like, and you couldn't just go out and buy livestock like a rich person, right? You had to raise it. So you had short grass. You had no grass. You have no landscaping because you're fucking poor, and your animals have to eat all your grass, and because that's what they have to do. And then all of a sudden, they flip it somehow, and having short grass is a status because you can pay to have it done. Like, it's so weird how little things just creep up, and eventually it's just the rich are like, I have too much money. What can I spend it on and be ridiculous about? Everything turns into how can I flex on people with a ridiculous thing. You know, that's why clothes have become more and more ridiculous, because you got to pay more for the ridiculous clothes. You know, it just always happens that way. Okay, golf, which this next part there I'm going to talk about in here. It talks about that game. Started as like a poor people thing. Okay, the guy in Scotland banned it. The King of Scotland banned golf at one time because he thought it was a nuisance. He thought golf was a nuisance, which is hilarious to think about. That at one point in history, Scotland, the game they created, golf, was the skateboarding of Scotland. It was a nuisance. Ban golf. Yeah. Immigrants from Northern Europe brought with them to North America both the idea of the lawn and the grass seeds to create it. Some of those seeds, like the seeds of many other European native plants, were carried here with great care. Others arrived on coat hams or rolled on bushels of the beddings or crates of imported goods, or rope used to tie each crate in bundles. Okay, that makes sense. All that stuff getting caught because they had to hand make all that shit back then. It's not like they were de-seeding everything very well, so seeds would get in there, caught, and then things would grow. That makes sense. Here, as in Europe, the first and only wealthy had the time or money to cultivate well-manicured lawns that were purely decorative. In those early days of the lawn was still a rural phenomenon and only confined to the upper class. Several wildly derived forces combined to make lawns popular. The common in North America, some of these seem obvious. Industrialization in the form of the lawnmower is one, while the growth of suburbs is another. But if you want to blame someone for lawns, it appears to be blamed. You could blame the Scots. Damn, dude, those redheads are always catching the fucking butt into everything, dude. The goddamn Scots are always catching it. Okay. Where England is or was the land of forests, remember Sherwood, where Robin Hood and company hung out? Scotland primarily country over grasslands. Or open grassland, sorry, have been denuded of all of its somewhat stunted trees centuries back. It's also an island. I guess islands have a lot of trees. I mean, look at Hawaii, Wade. You know how sometimes you're about to say something really fucking stupid, and then you remember something because you have been and seen it. You have been to an island. You know, that's what I was just about to do there. It makes sense. Then that golf and lawn bowling, both of them depended on lush, shown grasslands, both developed in a modern form in Scotland. Lawn bowling, or bowling, once popular in both England and Scotland, received a major setback in England when various kings of the 14th through the 16th century prohibited commoners from playing it. Dude, I'm telling you, see, these kings like to ban games because they're like, we will not allow you to have fun. No fun shall be had while I'm doing this. Now, pay me 75% of whatever you make for me to sit on this very uncomfortable chair. I should cut off the carpenter's head. This throne is very bad for my sciatica. I think I just invented a disease, sciatica. Write it down. There's a moral here, something about close links between executives and extinct. Both bowls and golf, therefore, came to North America with Scottish immigrants, and along with those sports, of course, came a yearn for lawns on which they could play. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy how I just said that a little bit ago. I know the history of lawns before I even read this, you know? And guys, for the first time ever in this podcast, we're going to leave it off there. That's right. We're leaving on a cliffhanger on the history of lawns, dude. We're going to bring it back for the next week's episode. I will finish the second part of the history of lawns. And that means this episode's over, guys. That's right. It's been not worth the time. I thank you. I'm the only person doing this. It's just me. I do everything here. I fucking research lawn care, and I produce this podcast, and I fucking talk too much. I do it all. And you can see all that at punninggame.com, guys. That's right. Punninggame.com is where you can find Not Worth the Time, along with a bunch of other great podcasts like Who Gives a F with me and Nathan doing our thing, talking shit on there. It's a lot of fun. So go check out the other shows on the Punning Game Network, along with the back catalog of all the other great shows we've had on the site for a long time. And if you want to support the website, there's the Punning Game shop right there, guys. Oh boy, you're going to love the Punning Game shop. That's where you can find t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all sorts of cool stuff to represent your favorite shows here at punninggame.com. So don't forget to get yourself something nice. Get your loved one something nice too, who doesn't even listen to the show. Just be like, what is this? I don't know. I thought you'd like a new coffee mug. That's right. Just get them something. And they'll love it, okay? And don't forget to use promo code NWTPOD. That's NWTPOD, and that gets you free shipping at checkout, guys. So don't forget to use that promo code. And if you want to watch this, if you're just listening to this podcast, I thank you so much because I'm glad you're listening to this, and I hope it's making your day a lot better. But if you want to watch me struggle or read stuff, and want to see the words as I scroll down or see my dumb face as I do a JFK impression planning a wedding, you can go to youtube.com and search Comic Wade Taylor. Comic Wade Taylor on YouTube. Hit subscribe and you get the video versions of Not Worth the Time. You get the video versions of Who Gives a F and clips of my stand-up. You can check out my half hour there, Wild Horses. That's on there. So go check that out. And all the people who've recently subscribed, thank you for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the content. Leave a like, whatever. You know, I love the feedback, so appreciate you guys checking it out. And guys, this has been Not Worth the Time. I really appreciate you guys checking out the show. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.